He looks so... Got a picture of his back. I'm right on target with this thing. Whoop. Once again, a picture of his back. I'm rocking. This way you can't see the beard. That's good. Good enough. I'm done. White at my graduation? Yeah, that's you got like a 3-5 or something.
Tonight is Interlake's 1995 commencement. We would like to welcome parents, especially the fathers, relatives, friends, teachers, administration, Mr. Stephen Miller, representing the Bellevue School Board, and the class of 1995. I would like to ask if everyone would please rise.
During the past 12 years, we have formed a foundation of knowledge, but now we have a choice. Do we step boldly out into this darkness, or do we retreat from the ominous prospect of taking responsibility for our own future? All great advancements in society stem from the taking of a risk. A person or a group of people's ability to take that step out into the unknown, to go beyond the understood. Today, we are called to take such a step, and not only to build upon the great achievements of those before us, but to build our own great achievements. And the world today is in desperate need. 4 years ago, during class elections, I challenged us to be the lights that shine in the darkness. And though we as a class have faced many obstacles and prejudices that would have extinguished our light we have overcome and made Interlake High School shine. But now, the real challenge begins. The world is filled with uncertainty. We live in a world of crime, hatred, and war. But we can no longer put it off as somebody else's problem. As children, we watched events. But from now on, we shape the events. It is our decisions that will decide the future. Our parents and our community have given us the knowledge, the foundation, the spark, if you will. But we must make that spark grow. The darkness is the great unknown. And with our graduation today, we are called to fill that darkness with light, with our light. To do this, we must stand before this uncertainty, and with the confidence of our education, begin stepping forward. And the more we step, the brighter our light will shine. But it will not be easy. Just as at Interlake, there will be forces and circumstances holding us back. But we must never give up. We must be resolute in our ideals. We must face the adversities. We must not retreat. And we must never bow to the storm, letting the wind of hatred and war extinguish our flame. We must be and are the future. And we must fill this darkness with the light of our achievements. We must be the beacon that others look to and hope in. But first, we must take a step, and then another, and another, and another. delivering a speech entitled The Confectioner Shop. Laura?
For those of you who know me, it's only appropriate that my remarks tonight will relate to chocolate. To begin, I'm going to take you through the procedure for processing cocoa beans. When the dried beans are first delivered to the processing plant, they are sorted and according to their intended use. They are then cleaned and cracked. The beans, now called nibs without their shells, are roasted and ground up. The product enters the third step, In this step, it is subjected to high pressure. This separates the product into its various components. In the fourth step, the product is pulverized, purified, and then blended in preparation for its future use. The higher the temperature during this step, the higher the quality will be of the resulting product. At the end of the fourth step, the product is shipped from the processing plant to various confectioner shops to have sugar, milk, vanilla, and other flavorings added and to be molded. Now, let's read this process again. But this time, I'd like to make a few insertions and substitutions. When the new students are first delivered to the high school, they sort themselves according to their interests. They are then cleaned and cracked. The students, now called sophomores, are roasted and ground up. The students enter their third year as juniors. In this step, they are subjected to high pressure, which further defines their various components. In the senior year, each student is pulverized, purified, and then blended in preparation for his or her future use. The higher the temperature during this step, the higher the quality of the resulting student. At the end of the senior year, the students are shipped from the high school to various confectioner shops to have sugar, milk, vanilla, and other flavorings added and to be molded. Now is the time to ship yourselves to the confectioner shop, which may be college, work, travel, military, or vocational training, but ultimately life. Whatever you choose to add to our mixture, make sure it is of good quality and mix well. Thank you.
can give you some words of encouragement and things that have helped me through my life, and hopefully they'll help you as you go on in your future life. It was 10 years ago this month, June 6, 1985, that I sat in the Capitol Center, now the USA Arena, home of the Washington Bullets and Capitals, and home of the Georgetown University men's basketball. 400 of my friends, like you are today, minutes away from graduating from high school. As many of you sit there, you must be feeling that same anticipation of almost being at the end of high school. After our class in 1985 finished singing our lovely rendition of We Are the World, I began to think about what a big step I was about to make. Once I had that diploma in my hand, I basically was on my own. No more free education, no more teachers begging me to be on time to class, no more hall passes. You know, we had a closed campus, by the way. And no more bugging me about doing my homework. I'd be on my own. I had to decide on what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Sure, I knew I was going to the University of Maryland, and I was going to major in physics.
What happened?
But as I sat there looking around, I thought of what my future holds for me. Of course now, being 10 years removed, I see, but I could never have seen or anticipated I'd be in Washington State, teaching music, loving my job and students, and with a pretty cool car. But with a little wisdom and experience behind me, I hope to leave you here today with some thoughts about being successful, doing what you want to do, and living your passion. As I entered college, I did not have a clear plan of what I wanted to do with my life. I liked music, but I never considered it as a career option. The starving artist wasn't me. I was going to be a doctor. That's why I switched my major from physics to biochemistry during my freshman year. Yeah, laughter. I was looking to make a lot of money and to please my mother. I think all moms would love to say have their child to be a doctor. However, through those 2 years during biochem, I began to get a feeling like I could never see myself 10 to 15 years down the road in a lab coat, sticking a popsicle down someone's throat, or working in a research lab looking over DNA evidence. As I began to really think about my life and my future, I always came back to music and ultimately to teaching. Without looking back, I left the chemistry building and entered the music building with the energy and enthusiasm of the confidence of knowing what I wanted and where I was going. Today, I am doing exactly what I wanted to be doing, music. You must always look toward what you really love. What you love will be what you're good at. If you concern yourself merely with how much money you make, whether you have the latest stuff, or whether you're looking for the latest trend, you'll never be satisfied and ultimately not happy. Think about all those people, and I'm sure you've had teachers, certainly not at Interlake, who are long ago lost the joy of teaching, or maybe never had it, who are not happy with what they're doing. Basically, it's because teaching is their job and not their passion. You know you're doing your passion when you can think of no other job or career that you'd rather be doing. Ask your parents someday if they're doing what they love. I'm sure many of them had dreams of being a painter, a musician, an architect, astronomer, astronaut, or either were afraid of trying to become that passion or felt it was just a silly dream. You should never get to a point in your life where you're sorry that you never took the path that you really wanted. And you cannot be afraid of making a mistake or taking a risk or facing a challenge. That is all a part of learning in life. There can be no success without the risk of failure. The most successful people always see events that may be tragic or difficult, like death or job loss, as a chance to grow. By taking experience and learning from it, not blaming others or feeling sorry for oneself, they're able to improve themselves and ultimately will be successful. With that in mind, I have always told my students that they must never accept less than their best. Through each person's individual best, our group can be successful. I do not ask my students to do anything I would not do, so I work hard because I made a commitment of excellence for myself. I never accept doing anything, mowing the lawn, washing my car, or teaching students unless I'm doing my best. Really, I believe it can be summed up in four words, which are the motto for the band, which are hanging up in the band room. Pride, determination, effort, and success. Pride is a personal commitment which separates excellence from mediocrity. It boils down to the simple question, how can you personally be satisfied doing something half-hearted? Whether you're a neurosurgeon or a garbage collector, the pride in doing your job well and to the best of your ability should always be paramount. Determination. Determination is the ability to have the drive and patience to excel and to reach your goal, to overcome that fear and doubt. The race is not always won by the swift, but those who keep on running. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to achieve your quest or goal or dream, or how many times you think you've failed. It does matter that you continue to reach for that goal or dream, and you'll ultimately find contentment and happiness. Effort. Effort is the commitment and desire to accomplish your goals or dreams. Some people dream of being good, while others stay awake and do what it takes to be good. Jules Verne once wrote, "What one person can imagine, another person can do. Be that person that does." Nike and Mike had it right, just do it. Finally, there's success. Success is not determined by how much money you make, how many tournaments or competitions you win, but being true to yourself and beliefs and never compromising them. Never does not mean sometimes. It doesn't mean you're always right or unwilling to compromise with others on details or unwilling to re-examine your beliefs, but it does mean remembering what your beliefs are and never allowing them to be sacrificed. These are all the set of standards which I live my life by, and I'll never be in a position of saying those 4 words, if only I had. I will always have a confidence in myself to succeed. It doesn't mean that I do not have doubts or fears. All the great men and women, Beethoven, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Golda Meir, Malcolm X, John Coltrane, Michael Jordan, all have fear and doubt. You know, they have questions like, am I moving in the right direction? Am I doing the right thing? But the one thing that each of them had was the ability to overcome that fear or doubt. As Professor Joseph Campbell, author of The Hero with a Thousand Faces, would say, they slew their personal dragon, fear, and became heroes. They did not let their fear or doubt hold them back from making a change, for taking a position which no one else could see or believe in. They had a confidence in themselves, and whether they would succeed or fail, whether they were right or wrong, they were true to themselves and their beliefs. Doesn't mean that they were the best composer or president or saxophonist ever. It means that through a combination of talent, ability, hard work, diligence, with some luck, they did their best and were successful. Not everyone can be great, but everyone can be successful. You must strive to be heroes in your own life. Slay that dragon of fear, doubt, ignorance, and look to the direction that you want. When I had this interview here for the job at Interlake, I hopped on a Greyhound bus from Washington, D.C. and traveled 4 days to a city I had never been to or where I knew no one. You meet some very interesting and strange people on that 4-day cross-country bus ride. You know, we actually had to leave one guy in Montana. I'm not going to tell you why. Anyway, when I came to the interview, I was nervous, but I always knew that I love music and I want to teach it. If I never slayed those dragons which kept telling me, don't go into music, or you'll never make any money, it's too competitive, or maybe you should stay in Maryland, Washington State is just too far, you've never been there, you have no family or friends out there. If I had listened to those dragons, I would have always wondered, what if? I want to close by asking each of you graduates to think about 10 years from now. The year will be 2005, Pearl Jam will be doing their reunion tour. The Mariners will still be in last place. And the defense will just be closing their case in the O.J. Simpson. You'll have your 10-year reunion, and you'll get your first chance to see again many of these faces that sit with you tonight. As you're going around talking about your 5 kids, or why you put on those extra pounds, or when your hair started to fall out, someone comes up to you, and probably your ex-girlfriend or boyfriend, you can't really tell if you put on so much weight, and they ask you, what have you been doing since graduation? Will you be able to say that you've been doing what you've always wanted? That you followed the long, winding country road, slowly, but always headed towards your dreams, or will you have taken the superhighway that's always under construction, searching for the fastest and best way to your dreams, realizing that your dream is north and you're going south, with off ramp in sight? I know when I'm asked that question at my senior reunion this summer in Maryland, I'll be able to say I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do and I'm happy in doing it. I hope you graduates of 1995 will reach that point in your life, and I know you can. I would like to leave you today. Last night I wrote a little song for you, and I like to play it. It's fairly short, so I'll play it, but I wanted to leave you with something a little special since this is sort of my first graduating class to leave you with something a little special. So I'm going to play just a little bit. It won't take very long.
Amanda Gray Everly. John Stearns.
Mark Wilson.
Sam Sir. Jason Merrill Bennett. Joseph Rivera.
Navia Natarama.
Andrew Charles Larson. Michaela Melissa Rover. Kevin Burr.
Annika Sophia Wallenall.
Summer Melinda Burr. Laurel Ann Sadler Brown. Sandy Sagabi.
Noriko Sumida.
Marjan Asani. Barbara Ann Winslow. Georgie Ware.
Bob Langston.
Van Good. Tao Nguyen. George Woodruff. Jack Hong.
Jonathan Towner Ryan.
Dan Lee. Andrew Frederick Cutterup. Ma Nguyen.
William John McNay.
Anthony Gama. Joseph Michael Sanchez. Toya Epson.
Scott Wary Greco.
Anna Laser. George Brandon Surya. Elena Bedman.
Timothy Gilly.
Victoria Calder. Monica Marie Barnes. Elena Maluna.
Karen Lynn Rosane.
Alexander Smith. Jennifer Lynn Cussler. Tanya Menyon.
Carrie Lynn Martin.
Christina Lynn Baker. Kate Marcos.
Jessica Jacobs.
Alex Rick. Jennifer Rachel Jacobs. Christian Gurley.
Benjamin Charles Martin.
John Jenkins. Kirsten Tiong Lee. Ratna Tang.
Ryan Lloyd Carlson.
Samphon Sebastian. Chris Durian. Eric Dorland.
Eli Weiss.
Janet Lee. Brock Bartley. Carolyn Choi.
Brent David Smith.
Patricia Ong. Serena C. Jalona. Mayako Arazaka.
Tess Golden.
Yeirin Choi. Amy Porter. Heather Alyssa Tanaka.
Bryce Anson.
Catherine Watkins. Ryan
old.
Bei Kim.
Chris M. McInnes.
Adrienne Walker.
Julian Park.
Brian Sean Hargrove.
Aaron Long.
Mo Mizusawa.
Kristen Catherine Gay Dees.
Jerry Fan.
Casey Ray Cunningham.
Cecile Ziegert Monnier.
Christine Marie Robinson.
Amanda Pear.
Rachel Lynn Hancock.
Name John.
Kelly Beatty.
Scott Robinson.
Vicky Cisco.
Aaron Kerr.
Salvador Ojeda.
Nathan Earl Schaefer.
Kevin Bellinghausen.
Rex Enya Abaya.
Jason Carver.
Marathon Maria Sullivan.
Scott McKellen.
Enjoy L. Tagosi.
Jason Pear.
Jeff Rogerson.
James Story.
Alma Oriana.
William Ryan Mayer.
Kimberly Alexandra Proctor.
Sarah Whiteley.
Sharon Kinney.
Chase Treadway Abbott.
Adrian Rust.
Joelle O'Connor.
Sarah Keating.
Benjamin Thomas Ludlow.
Sarah Tommy.
Ryan Howerson.
Jill Archibald.
Dixie Bear.
Nathan Richard Walker.
Jack Sampson.
Ethan Hill.
Courtney A. Sears.
Tatsuaki Ito.
Jamala Yusette Buren.
Fatimana.
Crystal Michelle Roach.
Tim Lazos.
Deshaun Terrell Duckworth.
Juan Nguyen.
Amanda Michelle Anderson.
Kurt Anderson.
Stephanie May Minor.
Max Otto Shire. Tracy Kibber. Amy Weber.
Karen Hall.
Mark Lee.
Amy Hashiguchi.